Well, good morning to you. Smoke and haze, part of our forecast with early morning fog. More about this coming up in just a moment.
Right now this morning, 25 people hurt from turbulence. We'll have more on a Delta flight that had to make an emergency landing in Minneapolis. And Winona considering putting limits on Airbnbs. We'll have more on why residents are asking for it. And the Fed decides to keep interest rates at their current level. We'll have more on that decision. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this last day of July, Thursday, July 31st, 2025, we will send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Art, it might be a good morning to bring a jacket with you. It's a little bit chilly out there.
Yeah, I did the same thing myself. Very great idea. Yeah, you're going to need that because there's a little light wind out there currently. So we have a little bit of fog, low cloud activity this early morning. Temperatures are in the, the 60s, the 70s, as well as we get into the forecast, gradually picking up those local temperatures. We have the smoke and haze. That's a part of your forecast as well. This goes all the way through Saturday, possibly maybe extending a little bit longer because of high pressure building over the northern tier of the United States coming out of Canada and pushing most of the smoke back into our region. And that's going to continue to push it all the way through the region and beyond down to the south. Current temperatures in the 50s to 60s, you can see nearing 70s eventually as we go into the next couple of hours, holding on to the dew points also in the 40s, 50s, and of course some 60s down to the south. We'll finish out as you go into it. The fog and low cloud activity continues all the way through the 5-6 o'clock hour, and by 7 o'clock it begins to end to finish out by about 7:30 or so. We'll also find ourselves getting into that smoke and haze. Look at that. That just kind of looks a little bit yucky, but cute at the same time, right? We're holding on to that cloud cover that's in the region. We have some rainfall down by areas by Prairie du Chien, but that has now moved on and it's mostly like a light sprinkle. That's why you're seeing some of these high clouds as well. When I come back, I'll have a better overview of how this will all shape up for your day, so please stick around.
Thank you, Art. A Delta Airlines flight made an emergency landing in Minneapolis after severe turbulence injured 25. Flight 56 was traveling from Salt Lake to Amsterdam with 275 passengers and 13 crew when it hit significant turbulence. The plane landed safely at MSP around 7:45 and was met by a medical team. The White House, meantime, announcing more trade deals with just one day now before President Trump's new round of higher tariffs kicks in. The administration also sharpening its focus on the hunger crisis in Gaza. Jared Hill reports.
South Korea is the latest country to make a trade deal with the U.S. President Donald Trump posted online that South Korean imports will be taxed at 15%, adding Seoul will invest $350 billion in the U.S. and purchase $100 billion in energy products.
Money is going to pour into the United States like we've never seen before.
The president is promising to raise tariffs on most international goods this Friday. He's announced 25% tariffs on goods from India and has signed an executive order for 50% tariffs on Brazilian products.
Critics said that our tariffs would hurt the economy, but the data shows the exact opposite.
But Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has cited tariff impacts for the Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady for a 7th straight month.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen.
The administration is also turning its focus to the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff travels back to Israel to discuss next steps after the U.S. and Israel cut their ceasefire talks with Hamas short last week. Meanwhile, for the first time, 2 Israeli human rights groups are calling what's happening in Gaza genocide.
Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
Israel denies the accusations. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
The White House tells CBS News details about a new Gaza aid plan the president announced this week are coming soon. And here at home, the Eau Claire Police Department searching for a man wanted for attempted sexual assault. Police are looking for Roy Gene Hoff Jr. They say he's 5'8", 175 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen fleeing in this stolen red Toyota on Highway 93 at I-94. If you see him, contact law enforcement and don't approach him. The man accused of fleeing police in West Salem will face a trial. Derek Brown allegedly injured an officer's hand when speeding off before ditching his car in the woods. He was later found in Illinois. A price hike is coming to meals in the Blair Taylor School District. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott tells us how much more it'll cost to feed your kids when the new school year starts.
It's always serious to raise any sort of prices, especially ones, I think, for our families and for our students.
This month, the Blair Taylor Board of Education voted to raise the cost of school meals for the 2025-26 school year. It's the district's first change to meal prices since 2020.
We had a pretty long and pretty intensive discussion about this in terms of kind of covering all our bases.
All school meals will see a price increase except for 6th through 12th grade breakfast. Officials say it's happening in response to rising costs.
Our expenses to run the food service program have gone up 40%.
Halverson says a lack of funding at the state level is also putting districts in a tough spot.
The 25 through 27 biennial budget, it had a couple of decent aspects to it, but in the end, it really didn't help districts.
Wisconsin State Superintendent wanted universal free school meals included in the state budget, but that didn't make it into the final legislation. And while the district is grappling with a tighter budget, they know families are dealing with the same problem.
If you go to the grocery store, everything costs a lot more than it did in 2020-21. Budgets are tight for school districts. Budgets are tight for households.
And so if families in the community are struggling, I hope that they'll reach out to the school district to see if there's any support that can be offered.
Reporting in Blair, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now, This Morning.
Some good news for those in most need. Families that qualify for reduced price school meals won't be impacted by the increase. Happening today, La Crosse City officials invite you to join a bike ride on the north side. Community advocate Andrew Erickson will lead that ride with Mayor Shondell Washington Spivey and other local elected officials. It starts at 9 a.m. at City Hall with frequent stops to discuss area concerns. If you don't have a bike but want to borrow one, you can contact the city planning department at the number or email on your screen. In Winona, some people have had it with Airbnbs popping up all over their neighborhoods. Now they want the city to do something about it. News 8 Now's Grace Monk has that story.
The future of Airbnbs in Winona's residential districts are up for debate. Next month, Winona's Planning Commission will consider new limits on short-term rentals in neighborhoods. Those options, a 500-foot buffer zone between rentals or capping the total number within zoning districts.
We have a 30% non-owner occupied rule per neighborhood. Per block. So only 30% of the properties can be rental income.
The new limits stem from concerned residents who say the rentals impact Winona's limited housing stock. But Jack says short-term rentals aren't the problem, it's the market.
Airbnbs are not driving up the cost of affordable housing. There's just there's not that many of them that are there. What's driving it is that there's a lot more demand for the home than there is supply of homes.
Rentals within these zoning districts require permits from the city. Since 2017, they've issued a total of 41 permits. 22 of those are currently active. Reporting in Winona, Grace Monk, News 8 Now This Morning.
Congressman Derek Van Orden's Veteran Home Loan Program Reform Act is now a law. It allows an easier process for the VA to lend money. It gives vets who are behind on their mortgages a safety net to avoid foreclosure, they say. Time now is 6:07. Still ahead for us. Congress weighing a bill to ban lawmaker stock trading. Microsoft hitting a new market cap. We'll tell you how much. And Samsung profits continue to tumble as the company falls behind in AI chip building. And the Fed is holding those interest rates steady, but there may be some silver lining for your bank account. We'll have those details for you as well. And now sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Wild ponies made a splash at the 100th annual Chincoteague Pony Swim in Virginia. There they are. Thousands came out to watch the adult ponies and their foals swim across the Assateague Channel with the help of saltwater cowboys. Some of the ponies are set to be auctioned off today to raise money for the local volunteer fire company. The tradition started back in 1925 and was made famous by the classic children's book Misty of Chincoteague. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call once again with Wildwood, New Jersey. The boardwalk looking beautiful, bright and fun today. Wish I was there. And this boardwalk, by the way, stretches 2.5 miles. 2.5 miles of fun. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
As my go-to guy, can you fix my smartphone?
Yes.
You have car batteries?
Yeah.
What about golf cart batteries?
Of course.
Battery from a T-Fob?
Absolutely.
My boat?
Huge variety.
Toy boat?
Sure.
Motorcycles?
You bet.
My apartment building?
Whole building.
Do you have batteries for my party lights?
Yeah.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
Get an 11% rebate on everything when you shop at Menards. Update your home with new vinyl plank flooring. It's waterproof, easy to install, and durable enough to handle an active household. Get DuraStyle vinyl plank for $259 a square foot after rebate. Add privacy and light control to your home with window images, blinds, and shades. Get a cordless room darkening vinyl blind for just $9.99 after 11% rebate. Plus, get them trimmed to width for free.
Save big money at Menards.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on this Silverado, plus $1,000 cash allowance. That's over $7,000 total value, plus $5,250 total cash allowance for current Chevy owners.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore Griddle Bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
Get ready, Hillsboro. It's the event of the summer, the Hillsboro Charity Tractor Pull, August 8th and 9th. 3 thrilling sessions over 2 days with 8 Pro Pulling League classes. Horsepower, dirt flying, and fun for the whole family. Tickets are just $25, and kids 10 and under get it free. Feel the power. Support a cause. Don't miss the Hillsboro Charity Tractor Pull, August 8th and 9th.
News 8, the Salvation Army and the YMCA are helping the community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 8th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash, and we'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 8th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Cooley Bank.
You got batteries for my side-by-side?
Yes.
Replace my flashlight?
Sure thing. What about my business?
Oh, good one.
100%. Batteries for my fleet of trucks?
Gas floor scrubbers?
Yes, and fire panels. We have pallets of batteries.
Well, what about...
As your go-to guy, if it needs a battery, we have it.
Well, that's all you had to say.
Could have led with that.
Batteries Plus, the experts in charge.
All right, we have I should say, moisture that was moving down along from Mason City to Prairie du Chien. That is long gone now, 612, holding on to the forecast. We're going to see whatever the cloud cover associated with that is now going to track towards Madison and beyond to the east. We get into your forecast, as we can see here, we'll move out of that. We'll get into the big stuff. Hold on to the air quality alert that is in play. You can see it pretty much across all of our region here and also situated into areas by Minneapolis. This is going to knock down visibilities this early morning, mixed in with fog. We have a little bit of light wind, so gratefully we have that to push around a little bit. Winds are up to about maybe 5 to maybe 9 miles per hour out there right now. Excuse me. We get into current temperatures, 50s and some 60s right now. La Crosse at 64, 56 over in Eau Claire. We'll also see as we go through the day, current dew points right now, starting this early morning, we're seeing dew points in the 40s to 50s pretty much for everybody, widespread to the low 60s. We have the fog low cloud activity as we go through the 6 o'clock hour. You'll see the fog by Caledonia. 6 o'clock going into about 8 o'clock going to Lansing, and La Crosse will be down to 7 miles of visibility. That gets better by 7:30, improves for everybody. So we'll go into how this all looks. Look at that. You can see a beautiful sky. Sun is coming out right now, but you can see the smoke and haze that's associated with this right now. Most of that is what you see all the way down to the surface as well, the middle portion of the atmosphere. And then once you get into the higher portions of the atmosphere, it begins to taper off. So your forecast is this right now, smoke and haze with a little bit of light wind and comfortable conditions to be outside. However, if you're going to be outside this early morning, please don't go too long outdoors. So be safe out there. Back to you.
In your morning consumer news, a Senate bill to ban lawmaker stock trading will move forward. Republican Senator Josh Hawley voted with Democrats Wednesday to advance his bill to ban U.S. lawmakers from trading. The advancement comes despite opposition of other Republicans on the panel. The bill clearing this Senate committee is the latest sign of growing momentum for enacting a ban on the practice. And Microsoft hitting a $4 trillion market value in after-hours trading. That makes it the second most valuable company in America, just behind NVIDIA. NVIDIA. The jump comes after Microsoft reported 18% revenue growth. Like NVIDIA, Microsoft is heavily involved in AI, but it was the company's Azure cloud computing business that fueled most of the growth, booming 34% over last year. While Microsoft hits new highs, the chips are falling at Samsung as it struggles in the AI race. South Korean tech giant's second quarter operating profit plummeting 55% compared to last year. Its chip division, which used to account for 2/3 of Samsung's total profit, saw operating profit shrink by nearly 94%. Quarterly revenue is up slightly, but the company is losing ground in the lucrative AI chip market. And the Fed kept interest rates high Wednesday, but it's not all bad news for your wallet. While borrowing money still stays expensive, high interest rates mean many banks are offering higher annual percentage yields on savings accounts. Jen Sullivan explains how you can grow your savings faster right now.
Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced they're keeping interest rates between 4.25 and 4.5%.
Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has moderated.
This means it will continue to cost consumers more to borrow money for things like a mortgage, car payments, even credit card debt. But there is some good news. When interest rates are high, many banks will offer higher annual percentage yields on savings accounts, which means you can grow your money faster.
It's not a bad time to be putting your money towards investments to let it grow.
Bankrate financial analyst Stephen Cates says now is a good time to look into high yield savings accounts and certificate of deposit accounts known as CDs. Basic savings accounts have an average annual percentage yield of 0.56%, but a high yield savings account can pay upwards of 4% annually. The higher the rate, the more interest you'll earn on your savings. This Bankrate graph shows how much a top yield savings account outpaces the average savings rate. So let's crunch the numbers into this Bankrate calculator. If you move $5,000 into a high yield savings account and contribute $200 a month over a 5-year period with an annual percentage yield of 4.25%, in 5 years, you'll have made nearly $2,500 in interest.
You're getting a really healthy yield compared to where we were over the last, 15 years.
Beware that the bank can change the percent of interest you earn. In a CD, the rate is typically fixed for a specific period of time. In both types of accounts, there may be restrictions on how much and when you can withdraw those funds.
Experts also recommend comparing online banks with larger banks when you search for high-yield accounts so you can get the best return. That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it back over to Art. He's got another update on our forecast.
All right, take you back out to Dubuque, Iowa here. This is the closest I can get you to Prairie du Chien. So you can see the fog, smoke is out there as well. Holding on to 62 degrees out in Dubuque, Iowa. Winds are at least northeast at 10. So we've been seeing that pretty much across the region today. Holding on to 4 miles of visibility for them. And you can see why, because of the smoke and the haze, of course, in the fog. We'll hold on to areas right by Menominee. Similar conditions as well. 77% humidity out there with a 51-degree dew point. Temperatures at 58 degrees, though, and 7 miles of visibility there. So smoke and haze is extending out. Eau Claire, similar conditions there. You can see the haze out there right now, that gray sky. Not much in the way of fog, but you're seeing visibility about 5 miles out there because of all this right now. Holding on to 57 degrees for you. Get into Toma, 59 degrees out there. In fact, 7 miles of visibility. So pretty uniform conditions out there across the board. There's a smoke and haze across the state. You can see that also getting into portions of Minneapolis as well, all the way down into Preston as well, back down into near portions of Iowa, as we just showed you. We're also seeing here that high pressure ridge right there that's still building, all that smoke coming in from Canada from the north there, working its way into our region. High pressure is building just along the northern tier here as well, and that continues to push that there. And we're not seeing much of this moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico making its way into our area. Pretty much gets into areas right by Omaha, Nebraska, and then kind of fizzles out and gets pushed along in the train of moisture that's continuing to bring some light rainfall all the way into areas from Cincinnati all the way out into the other portions of the Midwest down to the south. We'll get back into our zones again. Once again, we're seeing upper 70s, some mixes of middle to upper 70s in the forecast. We'll also see portions of this with sunshine, mostly sunny skies, of course, so we'll call it at least sunny to partly cloudy skies for today. Then we'll get right back into it here. You're seeing Prairie du Chien in the back back up to areas here. You get to St. Charles, 77 degrees. You take it over to La Crosse at 79 degrees on the other side of the river there. You pick up again conditions holding on to at least 77 degrees up in Osseo. Farther northward, though, we'll go back up into Ladysmith, holding on to mostly sunny skies. Yeah, they've got the smoke and haze. You can see that continuing to go through the forecast and all the way into areas right by 76 degrees for Eau Claire. We'll take it through your forecast as we go right through it today through the morning hours. That rainfall I told you about kicks out by Madison and eastward. By the noon hour, we're in the 70s, widespread for everybody else, finishing at 4 o'clock. Then we'll get back into the 7 o'clock hour. Temperatures are still upper 60s to the low to middle 70s in the forecast, and they break down, get cooler. By 10 o'clock, we're holding on to at least 60s and some 50s up to the north as well and the south. Once we get into tomorrow morning, you're in the 40s, and eventually by the morning to afternoon, we're going into quickly 60s to 70s, and then getting into your forecast with a little cloud cover on the way. We'll take it over the next few days here as we finish out, holding on to the position here, mostly of conditions to be like this, 79 to 79 to 80 degrees. And we'll see drier conditions as well. But once we get back into this portion, we're going to see mostly middle to upper 80s in the forecast. I know it's not expressing that, but that's what we're going to be getting. By the time we get into next week, we'll see some upper 80s in the forecast. So back to you.
All right, Art, thank you. Coming up for us, food stamps might help protect your brain as you age. The surprising connection between SNAP benefits and cognitive decline just ahead. And Amplify Health has a new mobile health unit rolling out. Coming up, we'll tell you how it works and what it offers.
Coming up at the Blitz, the Twins trading away one of the top relievers in baseball, plus the Loggers with sights set on a comeback victory at home. Do not touch that remote.
They often say variety is the spice of life. Well, if that's what you're looking for, the Board Store is your destination, because we have variety. We have windows and doors. We have siding. We have sunrooms. We have kitchens. We have bathrooms. We have flooring. We have tile. Whatever your home improvement needs are, interior or exterior, there's no better destination than the Board Store showrooms at 524 Copeland Avenue in La Crosse.
It's Carl's anniversary celebration sale. In appreciation of 69 years, dinner is on us. Save up to 40% on appliances, plus get free dinner for two. This French door refrigerator is just $8.99 and includes free dinner for two. All TVs are on sale, plus get free dinner for two. Save up to 50% on remaining closeout grills. You can even save on in-store Serta specials and get free dinner for two. Come help us celebrate 69 years.
Carl's, your servicing dealer since 1956.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily, Jardiance, at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardiance may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. Don't use if allergic to Jardiance. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with a big story to tell.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm with current conditions and updated video forecasts from the local team that warns you first. The News 8 Now First Warn Weather app, giving you more than what you'd expect. Get it now. No, seriously, like, right now. We'll see you at Walmart on August 8th to help us stop the bus.
For the Blitz, well, it was a big opportunity for the Brewers yesterday after come-from-behind victories in the first two games of the series with the Cubs. Milwaukee with hopes of increasing their lead in the Central to 3 games. And it was another instance of the Crew falling behind early in the series. First pitch of the game, Michael Busch takes Freddie Peralta for a ride to right and gone. A couple innings later, Freddie in a jam, and the recent call-up for Chicago Moises Ballesteros sprays one to the gap in left center, breaking in all 3 base runners. One of the positives on the day was the performance of William Contreras. This was his 2nd solo homer of the contest, but it would not be enough. The Cubs salvaged the series finale, taking it 10-3. And the Twins, part of one of the biggest MLB trades of the day yesterday as they shipped their closer, Jhoan Duran, to the Phillies. Duran has been one of the best relievers in baseball this season with 16 saves, a 2.01 earned run average, and 53 strikeouts in 49 1/3 innings pitched. Philadelphia was tied for 4th worst in blown saves in the majors this year, so that will sure up their bullpen for sure. Meanwhile, Minnesota gets Phillies number 4 and number 5 prospects, catcher Eduardo Tait and pitcher Mick Abel. Well, the calendar has almost flipped to August, so that means postseason Northwoods League baseball right around the corner. First inning, look at the ridiculous play from Jake Jackson. Might have been gone, but regardless, a great catch out in center, and the Hawkers get one on the board in the 3rd. Miguel Cantu singles to right, 2 men on then for Jackson Cobb of the Loggers, and he launches one, and the right fielder thinks he's got a play on it, but cannot be made out there. 2 RBI triple for Cobb, then Pedron Kinsey adding to the lead with a run-scoring base knock to left. The Loggers score 3 in the 7th, and they get the 7-6 victory. All right, that'll do for the Blitz. We'll see you back here later tonight.
So dandy, pop in to Valley Fudge and Candy.
We see you out there making the most of every moment.
Happy birthday, buddy.
One big, bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like these Clorox wipes, $4.99 for rewards members. Select name brand tires. Rewards members can buy 3, get 1 free, and get an extra $20 instant savings. Plus, rewards members can save an extra 10% in-store during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's private shopping night this Sunday only, starting at 5 p.m.
We know, like, if we help one person and if we impact their life and have such a positive influence on them when they're coming in here working on sometimes the hardest thing for themselves that they can do, and they can then help the next 3 to 5 people that they encounter, our reach goes more.
Are we looking to enjoy time with our family? Are we looking to get up and down off the floor with our grandkids? Are we looking to go travel and experience retirement a little bit differently? We're in your corner through the ups and the downs that life has to offer because we know that they'll happen.
Head over to unityfitnesspro.com today.
It's Hy-Vee's 3-day meat sale this Friday through Sunday. Get our special recipe brats, 10 for $10. Bacon wrapped sirloins, just $3.99. Fresh ground chuck, $4.48 a pound. Hormel Black Label bacon, $2.99. Pork loin back ribs, $2.99 a pound. Bar S Franks, just 98 cents. Plus, get even more great deals for the grill. Save in-store and online, Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Confidence isn't given, it's built. One choice, one moment, one step at a time. How you feel is how you play. It starts with a click. Invisalign.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya. With rapid remission at 12 weeks and less bowel movements and abdominal pain at 4 weeks. Most patients achieve remission at 1 year, and some patients saw visible healing of the intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
I never knew fudge could be so dandy. Pop in to Valley Fudge and Candy.
We'll see you at Walmart on August 8th to help us stop the bus.
Smoke, haze, and fog starts us this morning. More about that in just a moment.
25 people hurt from turbulence. We'll have more on a Delta flight that had to make an emergency landing at MSP. Winona considering putting new limits on Airbnbs. We'll have more on the considered regulations. And Ashley for the Arts kicks off in just over a week. We'll have organizer in studio to showcase the highlights of the 3-day music festival. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Thursday, July 31st, 2025. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's tracking the weather for us. This morning, it's a little bit chilly out there. It doesn't feel like the end of July, does it?
No, it doesn't. Right now, current temperatures in the 50s and some 60s, those low to middle 60s currently. There's a light breeze out there right now, and that also carries in from the north. So we have a little bit of cool wind in our forecast right now. We're also holding on to the temperatures you can see for everybody. 64 in Prairie du Chien, La Crosse at 64, 56 in Eau Claire. So the higher you go, the cooler you're going to get. Dew points are in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s as well. So it's quite comfortable. However, we do have the smoke. We do have the haze. You can see how that is this early morning. That does kind of look like it's a bit much. Hazy, and of course some fog and low cloud activity is in the forecast right now. And as I say, just a low cloud activity, I'm really meaning some light cloud cover, but you can see the fog and the haze out there associated with this as well. 57 degrees out there in areas by Eau Claire, holding on to at least 5 miles of visibility. And that visibility will continue to be poor as we finish out the 7 o'clock hour this morning, then improve. There's the air quality for everybody across the state, as well as portions of Minneapolis as well. And that's going to stick with us all the way through Saturday, possibly maybe even lingering for some more into like Sunday. So the fog gets out of the way, as I mentioned before, by the 7:30 hour. And of course, your high temperatures today, we're seeing some upper 70s as well as some middle 70s in your forecast. We'll talk about that when I return, so please stick around.
All right, Art, thank you. Delta Airlines had to make an emergency landing in Minneapolis after severe turbulence injured 25 people. The flight was traveling from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam with 275 passengers and 13 crew when it hit significant turbulence. It landed safely at MSP around 7:45. Medical personnel met the flight. All 25 injured passengers were taken to the hospital. President Trump is set to rewrite the rules of global trade just after the clock strikes midnight tonight. That is when his pause on a list of tariffs is scheduled to end. He calls those reciprocal duties, saying he tried to set the rates based on trade deficits, but now many of the tariff percentages are different than what Trump previously announced. Taking a live look at the White House, Amy Kiley reports on the rush to nail down rates ahead of tonight's deadline.
I think the trade deals are working out very well, hopefully for everybody.
The Trump administration is doling out trade announcements hours before a list of new tariffs is set to begin. President Donald Trump is announcing a 15% duty on South Korean imports. He says it'll be 50% for Brazilian goods if that country won't end the trial of a former president accused of attempting a coup.
It's hard to make concessions on that area, and I'm sure the government is not going to make them.
Trump also is doubling down on a 25% tariff on imports from India.
Trump is frustrated about their lack of willingness to open specific markets to U.S. producers, and he's also very frustrated about their continued purchasing of Russian energy.
Some analysts say it's hard to assess the latest trade news because details are scarce.
We do not know the full effects of the tariffs yet.
U.S. businesses have to pay Trump's tariffs when they import affected goods. He wants foreign producers to help foot the bill, but many say they can't afford that. In some cases, U.S. companies could buy from domestic producers instead, but that also could increase their costs. Several say that leaves them no choice but to raise prices for American consumers.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The White House tells CBS News details about a new Gaza aid plan the president announced are also forthcoming. The Eau Claire Police Department is searching for a man wanted for attempted sexual assault. Police are looking for Roy Gene Hoff Jr. They say he's 5'8", 175 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen fleeing in this stolen red Toyota van on Highway 93 at I-94. If you see him, call law enforcement and don't approach. The man accused of fleeing police in West Salem will face a trial. Derek Blount allegedly injured an officer's hand when speeding off before ditching his car in the woods. He was later found in Illinois. A price hike is coming to meals in the Blair Taylor School District. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott tells us how much more it'll cost to feed your kids next school year.
It's always serious to raise any sort of prices, especially ones, I think, for our families and for our students.
This month, the Blair Taylor Board of Education voted to raise the cost of school meals for the 2025-26 school year. It's the district's first change to meal prices since 2020.
We had a pretty long and pretty intensive discussion about this in terms of kind of covering all our bases.
All school meals will see a price increase except for 6th through 12th grade breakfast. Officials say it's happening in response to rising costs.
Our expenses to run the food service program have gone up 40%.
Halverson says a lack of funding at the state level is also putting districts in a tough spot.
The 25 through 27 biennial budget, it had a couple of decent aspects to it, but in the end, it really didn't help districts.
Wisconsin State Superintendent wanted universal free school meals included in the state budget, but that didn't make it into the final legislation. And while the district is grappling with a tighter budget, they know families are dealing with the same problem.
If you go to the grocery store, everything costs a lot more than it did in 2020-21. Budgets are tight for school districts. Budgets are tight for households.
And so if families in the community are struggling, I hope that they'll reach out to the school district to see if there's any support that can be offered.
Reporting in Blair, Allison Ferget, News 8 Now, This Morning.
And school officials say families that qualify for reduced price school meals won't be impacted by the increase. Happening today, part of one of La Crosse's tennis courts will close. Some of the courts at Green Island Tennis Facility will close for maintenance. That work is expected to be finished tomorrow. In Winona, some residents have had it with Airbnbs popping up all over their neighborhoods. Now they want the city to do something about it. News 8 Now's Grace Monk reports.
The future of Airbnbs in Winona's residential districts are up for debate. Next month, Winona's Planning Commission will consider new limits on short-term rentals in neighborhoods. Those options, a 500-foot buffer zone between rentals or capping the total number within zoning districts.
We have a 30% non-owner occupied rule per neighborhood per block. So only 30% of the properties can be rental income.
The new limits stem from concerned residents who say the rentals impact Winona's limited housing stock. But Jack says short-term rentals aren't the problem, it's the market.
Airbnbs are not driving up the cost of affordable housing. There's just there's not that many of them that are there. What's driving it is that there's a lot more demand for the home than there is supply of homes.
Rentals within these zoning districts require permits from the city. Since 2017, they've issued a total of 41 permits. 22 of those are currently active. Reporting in Winona, Grace Monk, News 8 Now This Morning.
In your morning medical news, food stamps might help protect your brain as you age. A new study finds older adults who get SNAP benefits have slower cognitive decline than eligible people who don't use the program. SNAP provided funds for more than 41 million people per month last year, but it's now expected to lose $187 million in funding under Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill. Health experts say having more money for groceries helps households buy healthier foods. And High Noon is recalling some vodka seltzer after cases were mislabeled as Celsius energy drinks. Some of those items were sold here in Wisconsin. The FDA says 2 production lots of High Noon's beach variety shipped from July 21st to 23rd were affected, meaning consumers could accidentally receive alcohol when they expect an energy drink. No one has reported getting sick from the mix-up. Amplify Health has a new mobile health unit that'll provide routine checkups and vaccination, as well as acute care for children. They say having a mobile clinic helps bring health care closer to families across the area, especially those in rural communities.
Transportation is difficult, and that a lot of people struggle with both the time and the ability to get to health care. And so this unit will hopefully help bridge that gap and bring the health care directly to the people where they need it.
The clinic was unveiled at the Loggers Children's Miracle Network last night. And we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got another update now on our morning commute.
All right, and away we go. Fog, low cloud activity, but mostly we're dealing with some patchy smoke and haze that continues to waft through the region. We're seeing it along areas to the south, as well as we're seeing it all to the north as well. Current temperatures today widespread 70s. You can see here 79 for La Crosse, Winona 78 degrees, Red Wing at 79 degrees, Minneapolis at 80. We'll also pick up down to the south. You can see Prairie du Chien as well as Boston 77 degrees, and I suspect Richland Center will be closer to Lath. This is we've had some troubles with some graphics here, and I apologize about having that show up there right there. Didn't mean to have that, of course, but we're also looking at, of course, dry and less humid conditions. Sunny, of course, with overnight clearing for tonight, so that's a look at your forecast for the day. Highs for Friday, though, what we're looking at, again, you can see mostly sunny skies. You already know what we're going to be seeing by Friday. Similar conditions, but we're just maybe a degree or two warmer than what we'll pick up. And, of course, the humidity will be a little bit on the lesser side and what we'll be really experiencing, so it won't be as humid, but it'll be quite comfortable for you indeed as we go through the next couple of days. And we'll finish out here going into the possibility of Saturday holding on to partly cloudy skies. And in fact, when we get into your forecast, we'll show you that it'll be a little bit, maybe a couple of degrees more on your skin, possibly the low 80s to at least 81 to 82 degrees. That's a look at your forecast. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. 3 days of music hitting Arcadia next week. We're joined in studio by the director of Ashley for the Arts to tell us what you can expect this year.
It's blueberry season at Kane's Orchard in Hickston. Picking is this Saturday starting at 7 a.m. Bring your pails and arrive early for the best picking of 8 varieties. The blueberries are ripe at Kane's Orchard on Kane Road just off I-94 and Highway 95 in Hickston.
After I decided my pain was too much, and my doctor actually suggested that I do visit the Good Feet store. Pretty amazing when they put the arch supports in your shoe and you walk around and you realize there's not pain, and you think, how can this arch support in my shoe make my back pain go away? But it works. And how can it make my knee pain go away? It was incredible.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if arch supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
For over 40 years, Blood Cross Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
In 1925, a new furniture store opened its doors in Fountain, Minnesota. The business was called the Fountain Furniture Company. Today, 100 years and 4 generations later, we're Drury's, where you'll find a focus on principles that have given us staying power. Handle quality furniture, maintain a professional staff, and a commitment to customer service. We invite you to stop in and find out for yourself how this big store in a tiny town has lasted. Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Family owned for 100 years.
So what's new at Macy's this week? 2 words. Abercrombie Kids. Here just in time for back to school. Also, the smartest new looks from Jordan and Levi's. There's always something new when you shop at Macy's.
When a migraine strikes and I've taken a triptan, side effects like dizziness can throw me off. Ugh, migraine again. Ubrelvy works differently. It keeps me in rhythm, quickly stopping migraine pain within 2 hours. And some have pain relief that lasts all day, so I can handle whatever the day may throw at me. Don't take if allergic or with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Report increased blood pressure or color changes, pain, or numbness in fingers or toes. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing, face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur days after use. Ask your doctor how you can stop migraine attacks and stay in rhythm with Ubrelvy.
It's blueberry season at Kane's Orchard in Hickston. Picking is this Saturday starting at 7 a.m. Bring your pails and arrive early for the best picking of 8 varieties. The blueberries are ripe at Kane's Orchard on Kane Road just off I-94 and Highway 95 in Hickston.
All right, how about a round robin of what's happening out there right now? Let's take a look here at Omaha, Alaska. I haven't seen this view in a while. We're looking at some smoke, the haze out there right now. We're holding on to 4 miles of visibility, so fog is also a part of this as well. But the smoke and haze is going to stay with us till 5, possibly 5 o'clock going into the Saturday hour of like 5 p.m., possibly maybe even lingering into Saturday night. So right now, this is what's going on. We take it all the way to Menominee, another view of that fog and smoke and haze that's out there right now. Smoke and haze is pretty much more prominent than the fog itself. 5 miles of visibility, 58 degrees out there currently with more smoke and haze out there in Eau Claire. We're seeing, again, 5 miles of visibility, dew points in the 51-degree mark, holding on to at least 84% relative humidity. So, yeah, it feels a little bit more comfortable on your skin out there is what I want to tell you. Also, you can see the haze, of course, the smoke also a part of it, showing your sunrise as well for areas in La Crosse. Looking pretty nice despite the haze, the smoke, and of course this blob that still holds on to the area right now until 5 p.m. Saturday. It may linger a little bit more so, but right now high pressure up to the north, pushing most of that smoke and haze from Canada back into the region here. The more you're going to see that happening going on with high pressure building up to the north and eventually tracks to the east a bit. We'll lose some of this smoke and then come back again. It'll come right back again as we finish out going into next week, and it's going to be right back on top of us again. So as we hold on to this, we hold on to this high pressure building pretty much down to the south. We're also seeing humidity mostly over on the Atlantic side. Of course, you're going to see some of it in the Gulf as well, but a lot of it is suppressed because of this cold front that's keeping that humidity mostly down to the south. What does escape, though, some of that coming across that, getting pushed up all the way from Albuquerque and then pushing through Wichita, going all the way to St. Louis and then back to Cincinnati, and off it goes towards Boston. With that, we have high pressure building off to the west as well, up to the north as you go into areas by Canada from Winnipeg right back down to our region. Well, what is that going to do? That's going to keep the smoke and haze in our area. That's also going to usher in cooler air for us somewhat. We'll still have some of that humidity, but not a lot of it, as you can see here. We'll go into the conditions today. We have that rainfall that came through. It's all gone now. Getting into the noon hour, 70s prevail. We'll also find ourselves getting into temperatures in the 4 o'clock hour, holding on to possibilities of the 70s still for the better part of the day. We'll see more 70s to finish out going into the overnight hours, with 60s back in the forecast, taking us right back into this. We'll go back into Friday, holding on to more conditions in the 60s to start in the early morning. A little light wind, a little bit of cloud cover sneaking in, so we'll take it into at least partly to mostly sunny skies getting into the forecast, as you can see there. Once we get into the remainder of the day, well, this is what happens. Friday, you've got this. You've got widespread 70s again. We'll hold on to more of those 70s going into your forecast as we go into Saturday, but we'll even toss in an 80 or so in the forecast. Once we get into it, you're going to see, yeah, I'd mow my lawn on Thursday, Friday, maybe even Saturday if I still had a lawn. We'll hold on to conditions to be like this, though. A little cloud cover coming in for Saturday going through Sunday, maybe a little 10% to a 20% chance of light rainfall finishing out. Going into the forecast, you see some of that rainfall coming back again as you go into Tuesday and Wednesday. That's more of a 20% chance, and that's a look at your forecast. So once again, you're going to see rainfall coming back Friday, Wednesday, and this is going to prevail. We're going to see temperatures getting into those upper 70s, the low 80s, eventually middle 80s will be on the way to follow, with some upper 80s in the forecast as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. Well, new this morning, we're just 1 week out from this year's Ashley for the Arts Music Festival. The 3-day fest features headliners like Brad Paisley, ZZ Top, and dozens of local and regional acts across multiple stages. We're joined this morning by the event director, Cole Bowick, to tell us more about it. All right, thank you for being here, Cole. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We know this is a big festival, brings lots of anticipation, people to the area. What is new? What should we know about this year's event?
Yeah, so every year we try to do something new. So we always add in some different attractions, right?
Yeah.
You know, this year you're going to see a live cooking demonstration, as well as we have some aerialists and rope walkers. So a lot of cool new attractions this year.
Interesting. Okay, some cool new events.
And over the next 3 days, what else do you have?
So we have nearly 100 art and craft fair vendors that line up Memorial Park Drive, as well as nearly 40 different side stage attractions, also included with the main stage. So a lot of different musical performances, as well as art and craft fair, and a lot of family fun activities as well.
We're going to break some records? What's going on?
I hope we can break some records. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to raise more money for the nonprofits that we serve.
Very great. Yeah, and so that is something good to bring up too. You do a lot of work giving back for the community, so people should know that when they're buying their tickets, right?
Absolutely. So last year we were able to have raised nearly $750,000 to support nearly 70 nonprofit organizations. Many of them are area school districts, so you get a lot of them that are performing at the event, as well as volunteering, and we're just very glad that we can give back.
Yeah, and so you have different stages set up, and you do have local high schools performing and stuff like that, so that's very cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we have 4 different stages. We have high school entertainers, as well as a lot of cover bands. Like on Thursday, our kickoff day, we have a Taylor Swift cover band, which my daughters are very excited about, as well as our main stage attractions. And that's one thing that we really pride ourselves on, is that we're a mixed genre festival. So going from ZZ Top into Brad Paisley, or Third Eye Blind into Darius Rucker. I mean, we like to mix the genres up, something that the entire family can come to enjoy.
I love it. Speaking about that, families we have a lot of them, so they're going to be all up, so you've got them set up for that as well. So what can we see? Grandma dancing with one son here, one there, and Grandpa dancing with the granddaughter as well?
That's right. I mean, that's one of the things that we really love about Ashley for the Arts is that's very family-friendly activities. And, you know, for different genres, you know, for all of your different family members, my family members all love different tastes of music, right? As well as all the different art and craft. I mean, there's things every, you know, corner of the 54-acre park that we have. I mean, there's something for the whole family to enjoy.
And you've got some big names. We said Brad Paisley, ZZ Top. Big names are coming.
Absolutely. I mean, we have also Daughtry and Chris Jansen that are coming. They've been at Ashley for the Arts in the past. So major acts are coming to Ashley for the Arts and for a very low, affordable cost. I mean, it's a $55 ticket right now for adults, and anybody that's a kid 10 and under is a $25 ticket. Like I said, anything that you spend, whether it's tickets, food, you know, merchandise, all that goes towards our nonprofit event.
Okay, and we can still get tickets, right? Do we need to buy them ahead of time? Can we show up and get them? How does that work?
Yeah, so I definitely recommend buying ahead of time. You can go to ashleyforthearts.com and you can purchase your tickets right there. But don't worry, if you want to come to the grounds, you can still buy your tickets right at the gate.
Okay, great to know. And so we know this is a long-standing festival, obviously bringing in lots of money, huge names. How important is this to the Arcadia community?
Oh, it's incredibly, you know, it's so impactful to the Arcadia community and beyond. I mean, we bring in tens of thousands of people into Arcadia, Wisconsin for that 3-day weekend. So a lot of the area businesses are, you know, seeing a lot of patrons coming in, as well as just the community support. So, you know, there's 70 nonprofit organizations that benefit from this. And this is actually one of the biggest fundraiser events for these area nonprofits. So they come to Ashley for the Arts, they raise a lot of funds for their school districts, and it's just a great weekend.
Okay, well, great to know. Sounds like a great time, and it all kicks off next Thursday. So,
it does.
All right,
yeah.
Good luck to you all. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm Adriana Diaz. Coming up on CBS Mornings, actor and comedian Jenny Slate will be here to talk about getting her first Emmy nomination for her work in the miniseries Dying for Sex. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Fudge could be so dandy. Pop into Valley Fudge and Candy.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
We know, like, if we help one person and if we impact their life and have such a positive influence on them when they're coming in here working on sometimes the hardest thing for themselves that they can do, and they can then help the next 3 to 5 people that they encounter, our reach goes more.
Are we looking to enjoy time with our family? Are we looking to get up and down off the floor with our grandkids? Are we looking to go travel and experience retirement a little bit differently? We're in your corner through the ups and the downs that life has to offer because we know that they'll happen.
Head over to unityfitnesspro.com today.
It's Carl's anniversary celebration sale. In appreciation of 69 years, dinner is on us. Save up to 40% on appliances, plus get free dinner for 2. This French door refrigerator is just $8.99 and includes free dinner for 2. All TVs are on sale, plus get free dinner for 2. Save up to 50% on remaining closeout grills. You can even save on in-store Serta specials and get free dinner for 2. Come help us celebrate 69 years.
Carl's, your servicing dealer since 1956.
So that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
Fudge could be so dandy. Pop into Valley Fudge and Candy.
News 8, the Salvation Army and the YMCA are helping the community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 8th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash, and we'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 8th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Cooley Bank. First Warn Weather on News 8 Now. Emily Brown on News 8 Now. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The La Crosse Loggers hit a home run for local kids last night. They partnered with Firefighters Credit Union at Copeland Park to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. The special baseball game brought the community together to support local families who need medical care. Children's Miracle Network provides equipment, treatment, and emotional support for kids in the area.
This event truly is all about the kids. It's about giving the kids an incredible night out. It's about giving their families a chance to connect with other hero families, and it's about a chance to give back to our cause.
The Loggers are auctioning team jerseys to raise more money. Online bidding runs till August 3rd. It's 6:54, time for your morning news now. Delta Airlines made an emergency landing in Minneapolis after severe turbulence hurt 25 people. The flight was traveling from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam when it hit significant turbulence. It landed safely at MSP around 7:45. 25 injured passengers were taken to the hospital. The Eau Claire Police Department searching for a man wanted for attempted sexual assault. This is Roy Gene Hoff Jr. They say he's 5'8", 175 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen fleeing in this stolen red Toyota on Highway 93 at I-94. If you see him, call law enforcement. Congressman Derek Van Orden's Veteran Home Loan Program Reform Act is now a law. That allows an easier process for the VA to lend money. It gives vets who are behind on their mortgages a safety net to avoid foreclosure. Habitat for Humanity is aiming to make homeownership more accessible for local families. The organization just finished 4 new affordable homes using innovative construction techniques. The project will eventually include 10 Clayton CrossMod homes that look like traditional houses but are built faster and more cost effectively.
We created a product for nonprofits to be able to access capital, and in this case it's $1.5 million on a line of credit so they can create more affordable housing.
These energy efficient homes with solar shingles and battery backups also help save on utility bills.
All right, despite the smoke and the haze and the fog that's going to be a part of our forecast for the next few days, we're going to carry over to Friday, going to the weekend as well and beyond. We're looking at temperatures rising from 79 to about 82 degrees and gradually ramping up those numbers to the middle to upper 80s to finish out the next 8 days. We'll carry over to how this all shapes up. Rainfall will be a part of our forecast, but not till possibly Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday of next week. And it's only right now about a 22, near 30% chance of that occurring. And you can see here as we finish out over the next few days, gradual dryness as we go right into next week. We'll probably see that rainfall possible, as I mentioned, for Wednesday, and then coming back into our forecast. That's pretty much it. What I've got going on for us. Just be safe out there and have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you, Art. Thanks for waking up with us. Coming up at noon, a new study is highlighting the effectiveness of e-cigarette bans. We'll tell you why researchers say it's helping curb teen vape usage.